Today's daf is Masechet Sota Daf Yadayim. We're at the top of Daf Yadayim Medalf, a new Mishnah. Zokta Mishnah. Ba'aloi lichtoi ves ha-megillah. So it's like this. The Torah says in the Parasha of Sota, Bamidbar Parak Hey, Pasuk Chaf Gimel and Chaf Daled, it says, V'kosav es ha'olois ha'ile ha'koyin b'sefer u'macha al me'amorim. The koyin writes the whole parasha. U'macha al me'amorim. V'hishka se'isha. And the rest of the pasuk. So the Torah says that the koyin has to write the shvuos and the olis that are said in the Torah in the parasha of Sota on a sefer. And so in the parasha of Sota, it also says things that are not shvuos and olis. So machlokes tanam in the Mishnah is what does the kohen have to write in the Megillah? Because it says v'shbiya isa kohen v'amar le'isha lo yishachav ish oisach and lo yisatis tuma tachas isha chinakim me'amaram ha'ma'or me'ela va'at kisatis tachas isha chinitmes v'yitin ish bachas shchavtim v'al isha v'shbiya kohen isha v'shvas alam ha'kohen le'isha yitin Hashem oisach la'ala shvu b'seich amich b'seis Hashem v'shvech nefel b'nechzav avol ma'am ha'ma'or me'ela ma'ayich lots of perspective of Lam Yarch for Amri Isha and Amin. So the shaila is, what else from this parasha does the kohen have to write besides Shavuos and others? So Zok the Mishnah. Baloi lichtavas the Megillah. The kohen comes to write the Megillah. Me'eze makan hu kaisev. From which area in the Torah does he write? Does he write from ve'im le'shachav ish, from le'satis tomat tachas isha and akim yamarim arme'ele? That although it's not shaykh halash and klol, and that lamais it's included the bracha. From the bracha you see that it says and lo yishachav v'shois, and from that bracha he's masher from that a klala, because if she was satis then lo tinakar ma'amarim, and also he writes va'at kisatis tachas ishech chinitmeis v'yitin ish b'ach shchatim b'ala ishech ve'enei koise v'shpia. He does not write in the Megillah v'shpia kainas isha b'shvos Allah. Why? Because these words are only a tzavah in the Torah, that the Torah is being mitzav the koyin to mashpia the Sota, but it's not meant to be written in the Megillah. And Zok the Mishnah of Kosev, and he also adds on and he writes the rest of the pasuk: Yitin Hashem oisach la'olav l'shua b'seich amich b'seis Hashem esirich nefelas et mit nechtzava. And he writes the beginning of the pasuk Chaf Beis v'ol ma'am ar me'ela b'ma'ayich lots of isbetem l'abel yorech. However, Zok the Mishnah ve'ein the Kosev, it does not write v'amr isha amin amin. It doesn't write those words because those words, that's the Sota being makapel on herself, the shvua, but it's not included in the olis. So that's Shittas Tanakam. Rabbi Yosi Omer lo hay mafsek. It is not mafsek at all between the psukim. You don't write parts of some psukim and then skip and write other psukim. You don't do that. Rather, he writes an entire parasha of Parasha Sota. That's what Rabbi Yosi holds. Rabbi Yosi holds he always also writes the tzavah v'shpia kainas isha b'shvos Allah v'amar kain l'isha. Entire parasha, also the Kabbalah of Amri Isha Amin Amin. Rabbi Yosi holds you write that too. Rabbi Yehuda says Kol Atzmei Ein Kosev. Ella Yitin Hashem Oizach La'alav V'Shua. He only writes the Alos. This is it says Yitin Hashem Oizach La'alav V'Shua. Soich Hamech V'Sis Hashem Zerich Nefel Zes B'Neftzava Aval Mayim Amara Me'elim Me'ayich Latzbetem Lab Yarach Ve'Ein Kosev Amri Isha Amin Amin. Rabbi Yehuda says is to not write the words of Amri Isha Amin Amin at the end. So Zok the Gemara, my kibiflik, what's pshat and machlekes tanam in the Mishnah? Zok the Gemara, b'hai krok mifliki, the argument and drasha of the pasuk that it says in Bamidbar Parak Hey pasuk Chav Gimel, v'chosav es ha'olos ha'ela ha'koyim b'sefer. Reb Meir says, which is Tanakama Savar, that olos means olos mamish, that he should write dafka the olis that say in the parasha, which are Yiten Hashem oisach la'olav v'shua b'seich amich u'val ma'im amor me'ela b'mayayich. And this at the Torah says olis with a hey. It says v'kosav es ha'olis is coming to the rabbis, coming to Marba that he writes in the Megillah klolos habois machas brachas. And even the Torah said a bracha, but if you see a klala from that, and it's come to your mar, but you also write that. Which is, because Bechlal bracha, you see a klala. And the words eile, they said it says v'kosav es ha'olis ha'eile, ha'kayim sefer is lamute klal l'shem mishatayra. That's come to you in mayit that you don't write the clause from mishatayra. Because if it would have just said v'kosav ha'kayim is ha'olis b'sefer, then it would be mashma maybe that he writes the olis that is said even in chumash devarim, not just the mamidbar. For instance, Yak Hashem Shachefes, where it says in the Teichacha, Dvar Berchav Ches. So therefore, Torah has been mind that this Torah has been mind, but it says the Kosav is always Ha'ele, that he dafka writes these clauses and not the clause in Chumash Dvar. And this that it says Ha'ele with a Toisus Hey, it says additional Hey, it's extra, Hey is extra. L'ma'ute Tzavois v'Kabbalis Amr. It's come to Mayit. The Tzavois is that the Torah is Mitzvah the Kohen that you don't write in the parasha, and V'Shbiya Kohen Isa, and also the Kabbalah Seisho. It says at the end V'Amar Isha Amar Nami. That also Rameir says it's coming to Mayit that you don't write that. Zakti Gemara. Rabbi Yosi. What about Shitas Rabbi Yosi? Kula Kedika Amrit. He dashes taka the whole pasuk like Rameir said. However, with the drasha of ha'ele, he argues on Rameir. That's where he argues, and he holds that it's not being ma'it tzavois and kabbalos because the Torah wrote s ha'alois, and the s is a lashon ribui, and the kavanah of the Torah is la rabbis tzavois kabbalos. When the Torah writes s, it means to be marbe kabbalos, tzavois or kabbalos that the kohen should write it in the Megillah. Zaktigam fraktigam arver Rameir, how what's he ma'it? Rameir, how's he married? Tanakama, how's he married from Ha'ele, Tavos, Kabbalos, L'chor, Torah, S Kadila Rabbis. So Zok the Gemara, Awesome Loidarish. Rameir does not dash an Essen. He doesn't dash an S as a Rebbe. So not everyone has to dash an S as a Rebbe. Zok the Gemara, Tanakama Taka doesn't dash an S as a Rebbe. And Zok the Gemara, Vaita, what about Shitas Rabbi Yehuda? Rabbi Yehuda, Kul Miuti Darish Lahu. He holds that all the hays in the pasuk is drasha. So when it says alois, it means alois mamish. Some the ones that are before the Torah, and some the clauses that come afterwards, machas brachas. And that's why the Torah wrote ha alois with a hay. To namayit clause alois machas brachas. The Yehuda says you don't write it. And also it says eila to namayit that you don't have to write the clause of Mishnah Torah. And the Torah wrote an extra hay on ha'ele, l'maute tzavois kabbalos, come to Mayit, tzavois and kabbalos. So Rabbi Yehuda is different than Rameir. Rameir holds that you write the clause habois machos brachas. However, Rabbi Yehuda holds that you do not write that. Okay. Frakti Gemara Rameir Maishna Hai Hey. Why the hay that's written by Alois, the Merabi Bey, which is Marba, to darshan close about machas brachas and mashna hai hey, the hay that's written gabi eile ha'eile the ma'at bay over there. It says it's coming to me ma'at tzavos kabbalos. So how come one hay is being marba and one hay is being ma'at? Zok the Gemara hey the gabi ribuyu the hay that's written by Alois. So the Torah is coming to teach you what you have to write in Megillah Saita. So you say that even also the hay that's smucha to it is coming to marba, but the hay the gam miuta, hay which is written the gam miuta, like in this pasuk where it's written eila, that's come to tell you what not to write in the parasha of Saita. Because it's come to tell you what not to write in Megillah Saita. So too you say the hay that's smucha to it is also coming as a miyut. So because the etzem meaning of eile is be'etzem coming to your mind, it's coming to tell you write this and not something else. So that's pshat. That's why it's called a miyut. So frekti Gemara shaila v'alesler meir mechlala bat hashemein. L'chayra we find our meir holds that a person that says what he's not what he's not going to do if a Tanai is Amikayim, so you don't learn out from that what is going to happen if the Tanai is Mukayim. Rather, a Meir holds that you have to mamish specify exactly when you make a Tanai both studim. So fracting Gemara, good kasha. That why does a Meir hold over here at the Kohen writes in the Megillah in Lo Shach Avish Oisach and Lo Sitis Tabach Seishech, you're not going to remember and because you see Klal Mechlal the Bracha, the Chayra, you can't learn out one from another. You see your Meir holds a Gabi Tanam, You have to specify what's not going to be and what will be if the time is mekuyim. You have to specify both stadim. So Dr. Gemara, for Gemara, Amar Tanchum, hinaki ksev. It says in the Torah hinaki and not hinaki. So it says hinaki and not a hin with hey nun kuf yud and not hinaki with a yud after the hey. So it's mashma hinaki, a lashon chanika. So therefore, you could explain the pasuk like this because it means hinaki if she's loy shachav, and the words tumatachas ishay chidash by themselves that tumatachas ishay chinaki. If the taka was tuma, then it's chinak, it's lashon chenek. So Reb Tanachum saying it because it says hinak iksiv without a yud after the hey, and male you could dash from this pasuk like that because the Torah is come to be mar b'kilo a lashon chanika. That what would be if it was klal. Okay, interesting. Zakting Gemara Vaita. Gemara is going to bring a drasha legabe the punishment of menafim. Darsha b'kira darshans. Ish v'isha, a man and a woman that are married to each other. Zachu, they're zoicha that if they go in derech hayashar, shchina b'neim. The shchina rests between them. So like Rashi explains, what does it mean Shechina b'neihem? Because Hashem split his name between them, meaning the ois yud of the word ish and the ois hey of the word isha. So it's yud k. So then Shechina is shri b'neihem, but lo yizachu eishei chaltan. Hashem takes his name away from them, and what do you have in between? You have, so you take away the yud of ish, and the heya of isha, you have a ish. You have a ish left from both of them. Zakti Gemara, Amar Rava, the isha adifim in the ish. The ish of the isha is shverer than, and it burns quicker and it pays back quicker than that of the ish. Meaning, if a woman is with other men and she's in the FS, then her fire burns quicker than ish. Like tomorrow, my time, why? Because high mitzaref, a high mitzaref. So tomorrow, what's pshat? Because high mitzaref, a high mitzaref. This that it's in the isha's name. It says ish. It says the hey at the end. Masha'in Cain by ish. The words of ish and not mitzaref, unless you take away the actual yud, has to be taken away first, and then you could see the word ish. Masha'in by ish, you have the word ish there, but it still has a hey at the end. Okay. Zakting Amara, Amar Rava. Why does the Torah say bring dirt and put it into the water by a saita? So it's coming to me Rama is that Zachsa, if she's Zoicha, she's Tahira, that she did not sin, then Yoitzim men a bein ka Avram Avinu, she gets Zoicha to have a son like Avram Avinu, the Chsiv Bey, it says in Bereshit Perek Yeches Pasuk of Zayin, V'anoichi Afar Ve'efer. But Loi Zachsa, if she comes out that she's guilty, then she dies, and Tachsel Afara, she goes back to the earth. She's going to be buried. Zaktimar, another drasha, Darash Rabba, B'schar Shamar Avram Avinu, Anoichi Afar Ve'efer. The schar that Avram Avinu said, Anoichi Afar Ve'efer, and the schus of the anava that Avram had, that he compared himself to dirt, he held himself so low, had so much humility. Zachu banav l'shnei mitzvahs. So his kids were zaycha to have two mitzvahs that you do with afar. Zok the Gemara, Efer para, Mizaycha to Efer para, to retire from Tamim Meis, V'afar Saita, to retire Saita. Frek Gemara, V'ekar Nami, L'chari, you have also Afar Kisei Adam, you have Mitzvah Kisei Adam, so why don't Rava say that is Zaycha to Kisei Adam, the Schus of the Neichi Afar V'efer? Zok Gemara, Hasam Hechshem Mitzvah Eka. Mitzvah Kisei Adam, there is a Hechshem Mitzvah, the Mekayim Mitzvah Kisei, but L'maisa Hanal Leka. There is no hana, because even if you don't cover the dam, the basar is still mutar b'achila. So ibizai, you can't say that. That's why we didn't say there's mekabel schar in the mitzvah, because There's no schar that's a mitzvah because it's not ma'akev, it's not matir the basar b'achila. Even if you don't do kisar adam, the basar still went to b'achila. However, by the mitzvah afar soita, there is hana because it's coming to make shalom in ishla ishtay, and that shouldn't be married mamzerim Yisrael. She's a zayna, and it takes away the bad name from her kids. She wasn't mizana, and also by the mitzvah of efa para is hana because it's coming to tar a tamei meis from his tuma. And the Mizaka Yisrael, Maisa Ego. So the mail over there passes to say that Avraham Avinu was Zeicha in those mitzvahs. Zakti Gemara Darash Rava, another drasha. B'schasham Avraham Avinu in the Schal Avraham Avinu told Melech Sadaim after the Machama Babal Malachim. Bereshis Paragidal Paschav Beis. He said, "Aramosi Yadi El Hashem Keilel Yin Kodesh Mayim Aretz in Michut Vatzorich Now in Mechem Chalash Allah," and he distanced himself from Gazel. Zachu Banu L'Shem Mitzvahs. His kids were Zeicha to two mitzvahs. Chut Shal Tcheles of Tzitzis, because he said in Michut Vatzorich Now, and he was Zeicha to U'Ritzua Shal Tefillin, to the mitzvah of Kshira of Tefillin, connected that he said Ma'avad Tzorich Now. Zok the more Bishlam U'Ritzua Shal Tefillin understood the schar that is he was Zeicha to Chsiv Ro Chalam Ya'aretz. Said the Varam Chav Ches Pasuk Yud Ro Chalam Ya'aretz Kishem Hashem Nikra Alecha V'Yorim Mek of Etadim Lezer Gadol Eimer Lezer said it's going to Tefillin Shabaroish that's a ois for all Ami Ya'aretz that's Shem Hashem Nikra Alecha and Memelo they'll fear Hashem. Now besides Taka this Hana is Taka Schar L'Chut Shal Tchelas Mai. What's that no that Zochah B'Yisrael B'Schus Avraham Avinu? Zok the Gemara that there is I know the Tanya Remeir Eimer Man Shana Tchelas. What's the difference of the Tzeva of Tchelas that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is miyached that for mitzvah tzitzis mikol min nitzavayim more than any other colors? Why did Hashem pick color blue? Pick the color pink. Zok the Gemara b'nei shatchilas dem liyam v'yam dem l'rekiah v'rekiah dem l'kis ha'kaved. Shenemar it says pasuk shmos chodal pasuk yod v'yurei selikim elikei Yisrael v'tachas rak l'maisik v'nesapir chetzam shamayim l'toyar. That you see that the Mari Shamayim is K'mari Sapir. Like it says in Yechezkel Paragal Pasuk Vav, Uchsiv K'mari Evan Sapir the most kisei. So you see from that the Mara of the Kisa Kovid is also like the Mara Sapir. It's coming to tell you that Mitzvah Tzitzis, anyone's a Mekayim, Mitzvah Tzitzis Ki'ilu is Makol P'nei Shechina, and that's the Hanacha that the Yidden was Zeicha B'schar that the Avraham Avinu said in Michut Vatzorich Now. Zok the Heilige Mishnah. The Mishnah is going to talk about on what and on what and with what does the Kohen write the Megillah Sota. Zok the Mishnah. Ein Kaisev Lo Yal Luach. He does not write it on a plank of wood. The Lo Yal on the yard. He does not write it on paper that's made out of things that grow grass. The Lo Yal Hadiftera. He does not write it on leather that's not fully processed. It wasn't. So typically, typically they would the parchment that is fully processed, you would. Rashi explains that you would work it with salt and flour, and then you would work it with afatzim, which is difter, which is gall, some sort of plant. But so the Mishnah is saying that you can't do it on difter, which is klaf. It's unfinished parchment. Elo, so what do you need to do it on? Al Megillah on klaf, which is me'ubid kol tzarcha. Shenemar, it says in Parashat Seder b'mimim parakei pasuk Megillah. V'chasab a sefer. Sefer is mashma klaf. So the Mishnah ve'ein kaisev loy b'kumus. You cannot write the Megillah of the Sota with kumus, which is gum, v'loy b'kankantum, and not with a black ink, which has something in it that makes it permanent. V'loy b'chol davar sharoshim, and not with anything that leaves a mark. Ella, you can only write it b'dyoy, only with ink. Shenamar, it says in the pasuk and by Sota machol me'amarim that the Torah has to write ksav sheyachol imachos. Has to be able to write a ksav that you could be able to erase, and it should not leave over a mark. Great. That's the kind of writing it has to be. Zakti Gemara. Amar Rava says, Megillah Sota sheksava balayla. Megillah Sota that Kohen wrote at night. Pesula. My timer. Why is it possible at night? Zakti Gemara. Asi learn Shava Torah Ksiv Hachai Sota Banu Perak Hey Pasuk Lam also like Kohen Oskal Torah. So Chsiv Hasan Gabi Zakim Mamre and Dvorim Perak Zayin Pasuk Yadal Al Pia Torah Sheyerucho Val Mishpat. So in Luna Gzer Shava Ma Mishpat that says Lagabi Dini Maminis is Dafka B'Yoyim Not B'Layla. So too Af Megillah Sota is B'Yoyim and Not B'Layla. Zakimar another halacha. Ksava l'mafreya. If the Kohen wrote Megillah Sota l'mafreya, so that means he changed the words of the order of the pasuk. It's psula. It's puzzle. Zakimar, what's the makar to this? The Chsiv, it says in the parasha of Sota because it's always ha'ela. So it's mashma that he has to write ki d'chsiva, just like it's written in the Torah, and not change any words or any order. Another halacha is like the Gemara Ksava Kohen Sh'Tkaba Oleh Shvua. If he writes a Megillah before she Mekaba on herself the Shvua, the Megillah is psula. What's the Makar? Is like the Gemara Shem Emad, it says in Bamidu Parakeh Pasuk Aval V'Shvia V'Achakach. It says V'Shpia, and then afterwards it says V'Kosav. It's masha the Shvua has to come before the Ksiva. Zok the Gemara V'Aita Ksava Yigeres. If he wrote it like a letter, meaning he did not write. He wasn't. The Kohen didn't do sertet, so he didn't make lines before he wrote the parasha on the cloth. Halacha is psula. So how do you know? Because of a sefer marachmanas, Masha Megillah Sota has it in sefer, and it's halacha Masha b'Sinai that svarim need to have sertet. So Tosfos asks interesting kasha here. L'chayr is usher to write psukim without sertet. So what's Rav's chiddush b'chlal? So Tosfos says two terutzim. One, that Rav is going to tell you that there's an Isser, that not only is there an Isser, but also the Megillah is Psula, and Rabbi Tam says a different teretz, that the Chivtim Misartin, normally when you write Psukim, is just to do on the four corners of the Gilliam, but however, there's no Chiv in between every line, even as by Sefer Torah. But the only reason why we do it by Sefer Torah is only at Zakelim Aveyu. So Rav's chiddush is that there's a chiv to do it in between every line.